Why did you decide to make a movie about Abichai?
Ah, so I met Amichai in the late 90s, and I had made a film called Trembling Before God about Hasidic and Orthodox Jews that are lesbian or gay. And everyone kept saying, well, he's the chief rabbi of Israel's gay nephew. So I asked him to be in my movie, but that movie was much more about the struggle to belong within Orthodoxy. And he was already like post Orthodox and smashing the box. So we actually became friends. And although he did say that he wanted his own movie, he doesn't do collage.
Okay.
So, but we became friends, and then eventually I started filming in 2003. So it was 21 years of filming him and his journey.
And how was it to be all this time together with him and seeing how he like transformed too?
Uh, I think when we began, he was much more of like a real iconoclast and someone who was doing a Hasidic rabbi's wife drag character, and he was doing really theatrical performance. No idea then that he would become a conservative rabbi. So I think, it was everything was very unexpected. The twist and turn of his journey, and it just required my patience to really follow him and witness him with the camera over time.
And did you get any reaction like from the Orthodox part yet to the movie?
So the film actually features his Orthodox rabbi brother, Rabbi Benny Lau, who's in Jerusalem, who's straight and Orthodox, and he actually watched the film and he wrote me a beautiful letter
Okay.
after seeing it. And it is amazing because when I was doing Trembling Before God, I was trying to find like families. I was trying to find Orthodox parents who had a queer kid who would step forward and be public and open about having this child. And I spent 6 years crisscrossing the globe. I could not find one parent who would come forward.
Okay.
And now, fast forward 20 plus years later, Amichai's mother's in the film, his father's in the film, his brother's in the film. And so I think we've really are witnessing this like historical leap
Okay.
of acceptance and they're really quite a family. I mean, really role modeling what it means to maybe not completely agree,
Yeah.
about everything, certainly politically, ideologically, but they disagree with love and respect. And right now in our world, I think it's so polarized and like relationships have broken apart, especially since October 7th. And I think there's something here that's very healing about what it means to still maintain disagreement,
Mm.
but do it with love.
And why was it important to you to feature October 7th in the movie?
It would be like the elephant in the
Yeah.
room if I didn't feature October 7th. It wouldn't make sense. It's like the reality that we're all living in now, which is, and especially for someone like Amichai, who's an Israeli American, who comes from this dynasty, of rabbis and grew up in Israel, so it had, but we had to find the right tone,
Mm.
and that took like 8 months
Okay.
for the last 2 minutes of the film
Okay.
to really get it right. And the film and the ending is really being embraced by a wide spectrum of people.
Okay.
Jews, not Jews, on a different political spectrum, straight, queer, like Orthodox, not. So I think it's interesting that, I don't know, taking the time to get it right and to try to find the way to navigate in cinema, this terrible time.
And did you really now have to like resign from being a rabbi, or?
So I think for Amichai, the big issue was in the conservative movement.
Mhm.
I don't know what it's like in Switzerland, but but certainly there's a Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, and Conservative still forbids interfaith marriage.
Okay.
And once Amichai he had to face a test
Okay.
of what he was going to do when he was faced with intermarriage. Now, in the U.S., 72% of liberal Jews, not Orthodox, are in loving relationships with non-Jews. So that's a huge percentage of the community. Huge. In fact, my own husband is not Jewish.
Okay.
So, and Amichai officiated our wedding.
Yeah.
So, it's like a really big moment in the transformation of the Jewish people. So I think for Amichai, yeah, he had to pay a price once he made this choice. And I had to document that.
And what does he say about his movie?
I think it's still like a little uncomfortable for him to see himself on screen and really like it's not easy. But I think he understands that this gift he's giving of the service of his story to the world is going to help a lot of people, and it's going to heal a lot of people, and it's going to open up conversations on so many of the issues that we're all dealing with. And I think for him, then it's a sacrifice, but it's a noble, worthy, good sacrifice that is only leading to people having deep transformation and communal, familial transformation. So I applaud him for doing that.
And what do you want the people take home when they watch the movie?
I want people to not be afraid of all of our questions, to really go into the conversations, the questions that are uncomfortable, that we're trying to avoid, and that we're all quiet or we're like not speaking to someone. Like have the movie be a springboard for all of this like deep, intense conversation that's not always easy, but is important. So I think for everybody, they're taking something different away from the film. So for me, it's not just one issue, but it's a process of becoming a less afraid community, a less afraid world, and embracing the, equality of gender, a community that respects and embraces all people, queer people, isn't afraid of non-Jews, that is looking for peace, and healing in the Middle East, and so that's what I hope for people to take away.